Hey there, it's Amy from prettypurpledoor.com, and today I just wanted to give you a little tour of my backyard gardens. End of July, everything's looking really pretty right now, and I'm just going to go over what everything is and give you like a walking tour and also kind of explain my thinking for future updates and what's done and what I'm still working on, so you can get an idea of what it looks like with a garden that's kind of somewhat done and other parts are not finished. Working in phases is a great way to go about the overwhelming task of creating an entire landscape. So hope this helps, and if you have questions along the way, feel free to leave comments and let's get started. Okay, so let's head into the backyard and see what's going on in this beautiful backyard. So as you walk in, my goal here, I have a circular patio, it's way in the back here. But my goal here was to, when you walk into the yard, I wanted this to be blocked from view. Had to add a path right in the center there because Sally, my puppy dog, tears through there to bark at things along the fence in the back. So eventually I just gave in and gave her a little path there. Here's my shed. I literally just finished this walkway last weekend. Because like I said, the shed is new from the end of last year. I painted black trim and the purple door, and then I put this in, so I still have to kind of plant grass around here and figure out what to plant in this area. This area over here, I had spiderwort. I had to just cut it back. It was beautiful. I think it bloomed for about 8 weeks for me. So if you're at my gate here, you'll see this is where our back door is, and this is like our sitting area in the back. We sit out there a lot, and I have a fountain right here. It's not on at the moment. I'll have to turn that on and do another video. Hyacinth bean vines kind of climbing up this gutter thing. This is my experiment this year. See how that goes. And this is a little bit empty here. I had a huge hosta back here for as long as I can remember. It's never done well. It's always been burned, and I don't understand how it gets any kind of sun in that back area, but apparently it does. So I finally moved it, and I'm planning to put like maybe 3 Carl Forster feather reed grasses there just to block the patio a little bit from view, but for now it's a little empty, and it's just sort of in this area, my coral bells collection. So I have a couple cool ones. It's my no pooping sign for the dog. A couple little spinners. This is a new coral bell I got. Isn't it cool? Looks like it's splattered with paint. And then this guy here, another one back there. So this is sort of like a collector area. And then I have some beautiful cosmos here. I think that's Voulette, or maybe that one is. So like a darker pink. And then these are apricot lemonade, these smaller ones. They're so pretty. My first year doing cosmos, and I just love them. And then here's my arborvitae hedge and my stone walkway, and then it goes this way. Little garden back there I'll show you. And this area is from like here basically over is just not done yet. So I'm going in phases. I did the patio first, and there was nothing. And then I did a little bit of planting and the arbor, and then I did the walkway, and then I did more planting, then I did that. So I'm going in phases over a couple of years now, but that's what works for me best. I do what I can manage. So here's just like a utility area. I actually just planted up some things over here. These are inkberry hollies. This is my brick from my other projects. Nothing fancy. I just learned that you can divide hydrangeas. So I took a hydrangea, I divided it. It's not doing well. It's super stressed, but I'll have to report back and let you know if it actually survives the division, because I think that would be awesome if I could divide them. And I just planted grass here, so it's kind of a hot mess right now, but I'm trying to put in more of this meadow grass since the pets just absolutely love this. So all along the edge of this lawn, I have a brick border, so you can see, and then it goes all the way around. And then there's an opening here because I'm going to do an opening into this back area, and then more brick. That's a mess. And yeah, so I have kind of that structure already built in. I did that at beginning of last year, I believe. Yeah, it's just part of the plan, so I just do a little at a time. And I love this rock walkway. It's just that the edges kind of started chipping a little bit. So I ended up putting in this border here, edging, and I have some new mortar mix type stuff that I'm gonna try to like re-secure the edges and sort of get it nice and not perfect, but just so it's not like dangerous to walk on, because some of this is loose here right now. The whole center is good, it's just the edges. And then here is the famous arbor and walkway to the patio. So kind of a lot going on here. Lots of cosmos, more cosmos. These are my cleome, sometimes called spider flower, grandfather's whiskers. They're self-sowing annuals, so they come back every year. They self-sowed like crazy. I pulled out probably 80% of them, and they still, I think I still need to thin them out again next year, but they're just gorgeous. Coral bells kind of down here. Some more. It's a really dark one. That one's pretty because it's got the pink flower on it. And then this is a Invincible mini Mauvette hydrangea here. I actually have the Limetta hydrangea, but these grandfather's whiskers cleome have like literally taken it over. It's in here. See, it's very sweet and very cute. I need to like make sure that doesn't happen next year, but for now it's fine. And yeah, more cleome. I love the texture of these cosmos mixed in. And here I have zinnia. So this is my zinnia. These are really pretty. It's sort of that chartreuse pop of color with the pinks. And I need more of that, I think. And I also want to put some more dark, like a burgundy in, more than just these coral bells. So I was thinking like, I think there's a scabiosa that's like a little taller, or like drumstick allium, things like that, to get more of that contrast and color in this area. And these are just little mini sunflowers. I actually have one on the other side that's starting to bloom, and I think that's gonna look so cool. I can't wait. Here's my vine along my arbor. This is black-eyed Susan vine. So it kind of comes off a little bit, and every couple days I just kind of rewrap it and train it up this arbor. And it's just gorgeous. I just love these. There's lots of bird poop too, because the birds sit on here, but that's okay. And in here I have Veronica pink potion, maybe? I can't quite remember the variety, but I have a little drift of those. And this is my Carl Forster grass, which I love. Need some more of that. Can't find it right now. And obviously some coneflower here. This will be another sunflower here. And another one here. So here we're walking through the arbor. And I have some zinnia. More coneflower, and this is the little path that my dog walks on. So let me just kind of turn around so you can see from this side here now, so you know where I'm at. Oh, here's one sunflower about to open. Lovely, I can't wait. And back here I have some interesting things. This was actually my absolute favorite shrub last year, elderberry black lace. It actually got eaten by borers. I had to buy a new one, and it's just hiding right now. It's not looking as cool as it did last year, so I gotta figure that out. And these are Millennium alliums hiding back here amongst all of the cleome. And then if you turn, a little birdhouse, a little copper birdhouse, there's that weird mound of sedum Angelina there, and a couple, I can't remember what kind of grass, Japanese, it's not forest grass, it's something else, but I do have a forest grass here too. Boop, right there. And this is my patio, and I have a wind spinner and this mirror back here, which I really love. And I'm planning on adding some more teal, maybe teal to the rim of this little table. and to this little table just to add some more pops of that because I really like it. Planter pot has grown all this moss and I just think it's so cool looking right now. So I'm really happy with the way that's looking. And yeah, just cool pattern. I leave this like really rustic. I want it to look old and just like loved. So back here I have, I want to say it's a Yoshino cherry tree. And it just sort of comes up over the patio, so it makes it super shady back here, which is nice. And right here is a crepe myrtle, actually. It's a Black Diamond Pure White is the variety. I'm going to train it into a multi-stem tree. So in the like early spring next year, I'm going to cut some of these leaders to like maybe 3 or 4 so that there's no burgundy foliage at all up until it's at the top. So that'll be a fun project. And then here I just have some more coral bells and some more coral bells. And this is actually the hosta that was near that area by my house. I divided into a couple pieces and now it's back here and I think it'll be much happier. These are my spiderwort. They're kind of done blooming, got to cut them back now. And these are just extra stone, honestly, from my stone walkway. Just kind of tossed back there. So my plan is to do some sort of walkway this way and then kind of fill more with plants, but haven't gotten to that quite yet. So this area, I've actually dug the beds, but I haven't put much in here as far as perennial anything. I do have this lemony lace elderberry. It looks really funky, the bottom. I bought it like this and I think I'm gonna cut it all the way down and just kind of see what I can do to make it look a little better. I have more of that sedge autumn mist here. And I love the texture of kale. So this is like a curly kale and this is a dinosaur kale mixed in with some zinnia and some cosmos and some coneflower. And these are, this is Joe Pye weed. It's supposed to be baby Joe. It's supposed to only get like 2 to 3 feet. It's like 5 feet or so. I hear my cat meowing somewhere, so we'll probably see him soon. These are some green giant arborvitae. They block the view in the winter because this monster forsythia was here when I moved in. It's just so much work and so much work and just not good. And there's plenty of prettier things to plant than that. If you're ever thinking about it, I'd advise against it. It's just a lot of work. And then this is my Crimson Point flowering plum. Just love this tree, it's beautiful. I saw them actually at Chanticleer, had 2 or 3 of them. And I was so happy to see them at like a public garden. It was great. Yeah, so you just kind of walk this way. This area will be something, maybe a fire pit, maybe just a little opening and then like a wildflower thing. I'm not quite sure yet. And then I have a little bench here in honor of my doggie that passed away, Roxy Ann. And behind it is just some hosta, some weeds, and some coral bells with this bugle weed, ajuga. I love the contrast between this and the dark burgundy. I think it's so pretty. Here I have a ginkgo. Autumn gold, it's called. It grows so slow. I've had it for 5 years, and it's finally gotten, I don't know, maybe 7 feet. This is a Hinoki cypress here. That's a really pretty evergreen. It's got like a really open branching. It's really pretty. And underneath I just have more of that ajuga. And then I'm in love with this plant, Siberian bugloss. I just love it. It blooms with these really like true blue little tiny bells kind of on top. They last like 2 months, I think, just about. And the foliage, I mean, if you like hostas, you're gonna love these. They do the same conditions as hostas shade. They like moisture. It's a really cool Concord grape barberry. Took a long time to grow, but I do love the contrast between the barberry and the bugloss. Little hosta back there. This is a burning bush. It's not the invasive one. I don't like it. I want to get rid of it. But in the winter, or fall, it's on fire. It's really pretty, but not my favorite. Just need to figure out what to do instead. Right here I have a 9-bark Diablo, and I'm gonna train that into like almost like a small tree too. I'm started at the bottom. You can see I really love the branching of that, and in the winter it's gorgeous. So here I have a smoke bush. It's a dwarf variety of a smoke bush, and I just moved it this year. It looks like it's putting on some new growth. It looks really happy. I believe the variety is Velvetini, but I'm not 100% sure. And then behind that I just have a little zinnia, and then in the front, this is chives. It's a little hedge of chives. Looks really pretty in the spring. Planning on adding something a little more bright chartreuse in the front, maybe a grass. And then over here, have some astilbe. So this one's bloomed out already. That's Fennel's Early Red. It's an earlier blooming astilbe. And then here I have Key Largo, which is blooming now. So astilbe are great for the shade. They just don't bloom for an excessive amount of time. So I try to combine a couple different varieties together so that they continue to bloom. Behind that I have a row of Sedum Autumn Joy, which I don't think they're gonna do too well back there since it's just pretty shady in this area for the most part. I'm getting some sun in here right now, so we'll see how they do. If I have to, I'll move them. Here I just have like a big empty area because I ordered some bulbs. So in the fall I'll be planting this up with some flowering spring bulbs. And then in the back I have some emerald gold euonymus against the fence. It's one of the first plants I purchased for my foundation early on. They can be quite invasive in some areas. I watch them very closely. They're okay here, but definitely something that I'm planning on removing and replacing with something a little more eco-friendly. But for now, just kind of keeping an eye on them, making sure they're okay. Maybe in this area I have some Solomon seal just starting here. I might just divide this Siberian bugloss again and just continue to drift it around here because it's just so pretty. And then that's that area there. And I'll show you where my buddy Mr. Fitz hangs out. This is his little den in between these two arborvitaes, and just kind of go underneath it and you can see Mr. Fitz hanging out. So he's taking a nap, and I guess that means that we need to end this video so Fitzy can get asleep. So if you have questions at all, leave them in the comments. Happy to answer anything that you have, and I'll see you over in the next video. Bye for now.